Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3. Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Text number 9. Tulye dharma kala sarge Naranarayana vrishi Bhutvatmo pashamo petam Akarod tuscharam tapaha. Okay, word to word meaning. Turye, in the fourth of the line, Dharmakala, wife of the Dharmaraja, Sarge, being born of Naranarayanau, named Nara and Narayana, Rishi, sages, Bhutva, becoming, Atma Upashama, controlling the senses, Upetam, for achievement of, Akarot, undertook duscharam, very strenuous tapaha, penance. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. In the fourth incarnation, the Lord became Nara and Narayana, the twin sons of the wife of King Dharma. Thus he undertook severe and exemplary penances to control the senses. Purport. As King Rishabha advised his sons, tapasya, or voluntary acceptance of penance for realization of the transcendence, is the only duty of human being. It was so done by the Lord Himself in an exemplary manner to teach us. The Lord is very kind to the forgetful souls. He therefore comes Himself and leaves behind necessary instructions, and also sends His good sons as representatives to call all the conditioned souls back to Godhead. Recently, within the memory of everyone, Lord Chaitanya also appeared for the same purpose, to show special favor to fallen souls of this age of iron industry. The incarnation of Narayana is worshipped still at Badri Narayana on the range of Himalayas. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guraha Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitiramine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Basa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So here various incarnations of the Supreme Lord is mentioned, is listed down. So we know of Dashavatara, 10 incarnations, and here we find a list of more than 20 incarnations are mentioned. And it is also mentioned that Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavanam Cha. So the Lord has unlimited forms, just like as much as waves in the ocean, so many like unlimited number of forms the Supreme Lord has. And He advents for like a common purpose. What is the purpose? Like Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Cha Dushkritam Dharma Samsthapanarthaya. So for the establishment of Dharma and protection of devotees and the annihilation of demons. So like who are devotees? Those who are followers of Dharma, so they are called devotees. And those who are against the established principle of Dharma, so they are called demons. So like all the time the Lord actually appears, so just to establish this Dharma. So this is a very, very important thing to ensure everything goes on nicely. So what is the Lord's mechanism? So the Lord's mechanism is somehow or other ensure that dharma is followed. So this is the Lord's mechanism. And what is this dharma is all about? So dharma is like of various types that are there. We have karma dharma, jnana dharma, yoga dharma and bhakti dharma. So which is considered to be dharma. Anything apart from that is considered to be adharma, no, anya vilashita. So anything other than that, these dharmas are considered to be adharma. So now when the Lord comes, so he performs in the incarnation as Lord Ramachandra. So he comes and he establishes dharma. And he comes as Naranarayana, and then also he establishes dharma. So but what is the difference? But their pastimes appear to be completely different. So how to understand this? So when Lord Ramachandra comes, no, he actually establishes the karma dharma very, very nicely. So how to like discharge one's duty as a son, how to discharge one's duty as a king, and how to discharge one's duty as brother. No, like even Lakshmana, no, he very nicely demonstrates, his duty, and how a servant, like discharges his duty towards, his master, and how a wife discharges the duty towards husband. So, like in this way, like all these various things, which is part of karma dharma, is very, very nicely exemplified by the Lord. So, by following that, so people in general will become, very happy and prosperous and peaceful, right? And here we see Naranarayan Rishi. So he is also demonstrating certain dharma. So where Naranarayan, so like both of them, like they are twin sannyasis, and sannyasis dharma is jnana dharma. So like so the jnana dharma has been very nicely demonstrated by this twin, sannyasi incarnation of the Supreme Lord. And so we have this, there is so much to speak of in terms of Naranarayan and like their activities, and then so their further incarnation of Arjuna and Krishna, so and things like that. So, but we will focus upon the aspect of dharma itself. And so what is the kind of dharma that they practiced? So here it is mentioned, thus he undertook severe and exemplary penances to control the senses. So basically speaking, the penance is the life of a spiritual practitioner, spiritually, those who are trying to advance spiritually. So what is this penance? Penance or austerity means like something which we are very much used to, which we very much like, but then we are controlling. So the modern day mantra is like just do it, enjoy Madi and things like that and all. So like what is the need of controlling anything? So whatever instincts that you are getting, so just don't need to control, just fulfill, try to satisfy. So the scriptures actually given various examples for this. So if you keep pouring fuel into a burning fire, so the fire is never going to get satisfied. So if you keep scratching the itch, which is like, which may offer some satisfaction initially, so but then it is not going to like solve the problem, or it is not going to like offer the same level of satisfaction over a period of time. So the process is to tolerate the itch, and over a period of time will become normal and healthy. So like a healthy way of enjoyment is what is actually being recommended, and that is possible by the way of controlling the senses and performing the penances. So penances means the senses are tuned for sense gratification, but penances means denial of sense gratification, or denial of unreasonable sense gratification. So like the mind and senses will keep on prompting that you can have more sense gratification, you can have more sense gratification, but then it is to say that no, like I'm not going to gratify my senses. So but then we cannot also completely deny sense gratification. We have to eat, so we have to sleep, we have to have human beings also have need for sex. So all these things are there. So how then these things have to be dealt with? So then these things have to be dealt with in the form of dharma. So like eating also has a dharma. it is mentioned yuktahara viharasya yukta chetasa karmasu. So in Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned, so one should not eat too much or one should not eat too less. The yoga system actually prescribes so the quantity of eating. So if you eat too much, you will become diseased. If you eat too less, also you will become diseased. So only an optimum quantity, which is absolutely necessary for us to keep, for the upkeep of body. So that is what will give us a healthy, kind of a meal, right? So in this way, like everything is actually measured and everything is regulated, so in the form of dharma. So like if I, there is one nice book is there, called Ishopanishad. Sometime back, we studied Ishopanishad here, for Bhakti Shastri. So it has a very nice shloka. Isha vashyam idam sarvam yadkancham jagatyam jagat tena taktena bunjita maagruda kashyasvitanam. So this says that everything that is needed to us is being measured and then it's set aside as quota for us. And if we accept our quota, we will be satisfied and happy. So, and if we don't accept, or if we accept more than our quota, that means we are encroaching upon somebody else's quota. So if you eat little more, so then also you are encroaching upon somebody else's quota. So like then it will result in some kind of reaction, for which we may have to suffer in the future. And if we don't eat sufficient, so that means I have not even utilized my quota, so not a problem. The problem is this mission, this human body is being given to us by the Supreme Lord, and it is just like it is Supreme Lord's vehicle and we are the driver of the vehicle. And in case if you have a vehicle and you have a driver and then he doesn't put petrol properly to the vehicle and he doesn't take care of the vehicle, and like he argues, maine thodi like dusra ka property china, so like I didn't put petrol, that's all. Your job is to put petrol in the vehicle properly, So if we don't take care of this body properly, which is a mission given to us by the Lord, so then also it results in sin. We are supposed to take care of this mission like as a property of the Supreme Lord. So like one doesn't have a choice of doing more or doing less. One has to do according to dharma. Whatever is needed to be done, it has to be done, right? So recently I was reading Ramayana, and there it is mentioned about Lord Rama being banished to forest, and then so there is so many arguments, Lakshmana gives, and then like Kaushalya gives, and things like that. So some of the arguments are like, see, this Kaikeyi's interest of sending Rama to forest is completely sinful. It is not dharmic. It is not in line with dharma. So you can reject the instruction given by Kaikeyi. So then it's all analysis of dharma that is happening actually, whether to follow or not. So not because like, it is suiting me or not. It is not that. So it is whether it is dharma or not. So a superior's instruction, if it is in line with dharma, so a junior or a subordinate cannot like say no to such an instruction. So only way like he can say no is if it is not in line with dharma or not in line with scriptural conclusions. So then the subordinate can say like, no, I will not be able to follow this. Just like Prahlad Maharaj told to his father, so you stop worshipping Vishnu. So it's an instruction from the father. So superior's instruction must be followed. So like Prahlad, otherwise he followed like whenever his father told that you should go to the school. And then, yeah, it's a dharmic instruction, so isko to mana nahi kar sakte. So like, he went to the school, and then, so like, he told that you should follow your teachers, and this is also dharmic instruction. So like, he followed, and then he told like, you should not worship Vishnu. So like, worship Vishnu, like, in fact, what is that? Smartavyam satatam Vishnu, vismartavyam na jatuchit. Sarve vidhi nishedashur etayoreva kinkar. So only one central point of following of all the dharma is that to remember Vishnu. So why are we following various rules and regulations? So it is for remembrance of Vishnu. So why Garbhadan Samskara has to be performed for remembrance of Vishnu? Why Namakaran has to be performed for remembrance of Vishnu? Why marriage has to be performed for remembrance of Vishnu? Why somebody has to renounce married life for remembrance of Krishna? So everything is for remembrance of Krishna only. So like in this way, like here the argument is that Kaikeyi's instruction is like no, it is sinful, no, it is not proper. So then Rama establishes that no, like Dasharatha had asked, had given some boons, and Kaikeyi has wished some boons, and like my father has to fulfill those boons, no. So it is like, he's given whatever you wish, I will fulfill, and this is what she has wished. And so now Dasharatha, as a dharmic father, like he is supposed to follow truthfulness. So, and he is following that, and so he has given me an instruction. And instruction is also what instruction he has given. He has not given me an instruction, you should eat non-veg from today, or you should stop chanting the names of the Lord. He just asked me to go to the forest. That is completely within the boundary of dharma. So how can I reject this instruction? So it is a valid point. So like in this way, like they are making all this one. And he makes the point that if I neglect a dharmic instruction from my superiors, so then my life in the future, like I'll have to face sinful reactions and I'll have to suffer. That is one thing. And secondly, my path back to Godhead or path towards liberation will be blocked. So this is this one. Sin and offenses actually block the path back to Godhead. So this is this one. So that is why a devotee, like he is very, very careful not to commit any adharma. So like in the last session, we discussed in that PPT that definition of Uttama Bhakti. So Uttama Bhakti is Anya Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Uttama. So like, so in this, if you see Anya Bilashita means going against dharma. So going against like karma, jnana, yoga or bhakti. So any of these established dharma, if we are going against that, so then it is called Anya Bilashita. And then jnana karmadi anavritam. So jnana dharma and karma dharma is allowed within Uttama Bhakti. So like one can follow varnashrama, one can follow the jnana dharma. Like, but then it has to be followed to such an extent that it doesn't obstruct bhakti. It doesn't cover bhakti. So that is why it is called jnana karmadi anavritam. Avritam means covering. Anavritam means uncovered. So like, so they can be used as a support structure, because we are not prepared to execute only the limbs of bhakti 24/7. So we have to fill our time with other dharmic, alternatives. So karma and jnana are accepted as safe alternatives, but then it has to be practiced only within the limits of that it doesn't cover bhakti. So to that extent we can actually follow karma and jnana. So that is why impersonal liberation is criticized, because it covers bhakti, so which is a part of jnana dharma, and demigod worship, which is part of karma dharma. So but it covers shuddha bhakti, so that is why it is like avoided. Otherwise it is dharmic. So one has to be dharmic, not just dharmic, one has to like be dharmic in such a way that bhakti is not obstructed. So that kind of a dharma has to be followed. And today we'll see, of course, we have established sufficiently that bhakti, can never be given up. So like somebody is a follower of karma yoga, somebody is follower of jnana yoga, whoever may be, he cannot give up bhakti, because Bhagavad Bhakti hinasya jati shastra japa tapa apranasya dehasya mandanam loka ranjanam. So without Bhagavad Bhakti, karma will not function, or karma will not produce its results. Without Bhagavad Bhakti, jnana will not produce its results. And without Bhagavad Bhakti, none of the other dharmic processes actually function. So for the dharmic processes to function, so Bhagavad Bhakti is the life and soul. So like obviously one has to chant, one has to study the scriptures, one has to honor prasadam, and one has to worship Tulsi. One has to do all this angas of bhakti every single day, right? So that is very, very essential. And today's context, we see that like Nara Narayan Rishi, so they are performing this severe austerities and exemplary penances to control the senses. So, like, no, sometimes it is mentioned that bhakti itself is sufficient. No, you don't need anything else to control your senses or do anything like that. So, but then bhakti itself is sufficient, but we are not having sufficient faith to take up only bhakti. So, throughout the day, if you just simply engage in bhakti dharma, that means first and foremost is we have to give up home, and we have to take up take up renunciation. So, like, because if you have to live in home means karma dharma is needed. No, without karma dharma you cannot live in home. No, all the rules and regulations to live in home is given in karma dharma. So, like, so we are not able to do that kind of this one. So we need to study how to perform the karma dharma. That means how to perform varnashrama properly, and we also need to study how to perform jnana dharma. So, like, so that has been nicely highlighted. This jnana dharma portion has been nicely highlighted. So in the in this particular shloka, in terms of glorification of Nara Narayan Rishi, right? So in this connection, the famous shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, so chapter number 13, 8 to 12, so this is considered to be a very good, very decent list of Jnana Dharma. So, like, this goes like this: Amanitvam Adambitvam Ahimsa Kshantirarjavam Acharya Pasanam Saucham Stairyam Atma Vinigraha Indriyarteshu Vairagyam Anahankara Yevacha Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam Ashaktirana Visvanga Putra Daragrahadishu Nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu Mai chananya yogena bhaktiravya vicharini Vivikta desha sevitvam aratir jana samsadi Adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanartha darshanam Etad jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yatonyata. So here we see that etad jnanam iti proktam Ajnanam yad ato anyatha. So, like, whatever is there apart from this list is considered to be ajnana, and this list is considered to be jnana. So, what is this activities of jnana? What does a jnana yogi perform? How does he actually engage his time? It is not that people who are following karma, so they don't need to follow jnana. So, people who are following karma, they have to follow jnana and bhakti both mandatorily. And like renunciants, they are supposed to practice jnana, only jnana and bhakti. So the householders, grahasthas, are supposed to practice karma, jnana and bhakti. And eventually, at the time of quitting our body, so we are expected to practice only bhakti. So only bhakti, we have to keep on engaged in chanting the names of the Lord, remembering the Lord, and hearing the pastimes of the Lord. So in this way, one should quit one's body, right? So he should not have time for doing anything else apart from that. So now this Jnana Dharma is like a common subject both for Grahasthas and for the renunciants. So for the renunciants, they perform it little more severely, and for the Grahasthas, they also must perform this to whatever permissible limits that is there. So if you see the Jnana Dharma, the activities of Jnana Dharma are the activities of mode of goodness. So these are all the list of activities which are in mode of goodness. And so they have to be practiced. Every single human being has to practice this. Okay, so like now we will see the list enumerated here. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of evil of birth, death, old age and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with wife, children, home and the rest, even-mindedness amidst pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization, and philosophical search for the absolute truth, All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance. And if you see the purport, this process of knowledge is sometimes misunderstood by less intelligent men as being the interaction of field of activity. So, what do you mean by this word field of activity? Field of activity. Like activity means, what is karma? Activity means karma. So that means action within three modes of material nature. And the whole purpose of jnana, why are we even touching upon the jnana angas? Because eventually we want to proceed towards liberation. So proceed towards ultimate liberation, going back to Godhead. So if we at all want liberation, so then jnana angas are the ones which actually produces knowledge, and as a result of knowledge, what we get is liberation. So ultimately we want to become liberated from three modes of nature. And if we want to be liberated from three modes of nature, so then we should stop engaging with three modes of nature. It's a valid point, right? So if you want to be detached from or get free from three modes of nature, so then you should not interact with three modes of nature. But then these are items or processes which are mentioned as process of knowledge, and it seems to be like fully within three modes of nature. So like these are also appears to be like interactions between material things, interactions between items which are in the modes of material nature. So then how do we expect to get out of three modes of nature by following this? So this is something very interesting. If you take two stones, and then these two stones doesn't have fire, but if you rub the stones, you can generate fire. So in the same way, so like we are living in the material world, and everything that we have access to is material only, But then if this material things brought together in a particular combination, so then it produces knowledge, which actually, in turn burns up this material, three modes of nature, and then awards liberation to the living entity. So that is why these items are considered to be items of knowledge. And if you carefully see what language Prabhupada is using, this process of knowledge, this is all called process of acquiring knowledge. So these, when Krishna is mentioning etad jnanam, this is all knowledge, means like this is all process. When you execute, it will produce knowledge, in you. So this process of knowledge is sometimes misunderstood by less intelligent men as being the interaction of field of activity, but actually this is real process of knowledge. Just like we have bhakti, means we have certain processes like chanting, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, and all those things. These can be practically executed. In the same way, Jnana means, these are the list of items. Amanittam, Adambittam, Ahimsa, Kshanti, Rajavam. So these can be practically executed. So these can be practically executed. And how to practically execute it? Humility is a quality. So chanting is an activity. Humility is a quality. How are you saying like humility to be an activity? So, that is why we have to read the purports, given by the Acharya, how this is an activity and how this has to be performed, So, by studying the purports, we will understand how this particular activity has to be performed. So, we will try to see till the time, till we get the time. So, we will cover certain aspects of this processes of knowledge, which is very, very essential for practicing pure devotional service. So sometimes devotee have this misunderstanding also. We are devotees. Why we'll follow jnana process? Why we will study? Or why we will study karma process? So we are beyond all the karma and jnana and things like that. So in that way, like all adultery will happen and all wrong kind of things will happen. Right? So pure devotional service means if somebody can do only bhakti, it is well and good. So everybody will offer obeisances to you. So but if you cannot, then you have to practice bhakti to whatever extent it is possible. And then rest of the things, jnana and karma has to be practiced. And for that, this is very, very essential. Right? Okay. If one accepts this process, then the possibility of approaching the absolute truth exists. This is not the interaction of 24 elements as described before. This is actually the means to get out of entanglement of those elements. The embodied soul is entrapped by the body which is the casing made of 24 material elements or 24 elements. And the process of knowledge as described here is the means to get out of it. Of all the descriptions of the process of knowledge, the most important point is described in the first line of the 11th verse. Mai chananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharini. So you see, like even within the description of the angas of jnana, bhakti is very, very essential. So without bhakti, jnana angas will fail. Without bhakti and jnana, karma angas will fail. So they are built on top of another. So it is like asking which one is important in a building, foundation or ground floor or first floor, like sabhi important hai. So one without another will not work actually. So in that way, so like that is why, like even after describing the pure devotional service in the middle 6 chapters, Krishna further describes the jnana, because this is also essential. Without this, pure devotional service is very difficult to perform. Okay, so though the embodied soul is entrapped, and this what is mentioned over here, this list of items, so they actually can help us to get liberated. And the most important item is Mai Charanya Yogena Bhaktir Abhyabhicharini. The process of knowledge terminates in unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. So if one does not approach or is not able to approach the transcendental service of the Lord, then the other 19 items are of no particular value. So the jnana angas also will get value. Only if you chant 16 rounds, and follow like all the devotional sadhana, study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and like worship of Tulsi and worship of the deity and all these things. So on top of it, if you practice all these jnana angas, it will produce results. So giving up Bhagavad Bhakti, if we practice all these things, it will not produce results. Because life chala gaya. So Bhagavad Bhakti hinasya. So then it becomes apranasya dehasya. So but if one takes to devotional service in full Krishna consciousness, the other 19 items automatically develop within him. Yashasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunaistutra samasate sura. So if somebody takes up exclusively to just chanting the names of the Lord, or like during Prabhupada's time, so all the hippies who are joined, so it is quite difficult to teach them all the jnana angas. And Prabhupada told it is very simple. Kya karna chahiye? Pura din jap karo. And जब करना बोर लग रहा है, ठीक है, बुक है, इतना सारा बुक है, बुक पढ़ो, वो भी बोर लग रहा है, like ठीक है, रास्ते पे चलो, and there you just simply chant the names of the Lord, and then so like even that is also you are getting bored. You see, everybody apart from you is wrong. Whatever is written in this book is right, and everybody else is wrong. You just go and tell you are wrong and this is right. That is preaching. So like, and they felt, oh, ye to acha hai. Hum sahi hai aur baki sab galat hai. And they took the books and they started preaching and things like that. Throughout the day, Prabhupada engaged them in Sankirtan. So if that is done, so then this Yashasti Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana will work, because Akinchana Bhakti has to be performed. So like without any other desire, exclusively focused on angas of Bhakti. So but if that is not there, so if Akinchana Bhakti is performed, these 19 items will automatically come. But if Akinchana Bhakti is not performed, these 19 items you have to practice. So that is the whole point. So all the good qualities of knowledge develop in one who has attained the stage of devotional service. The principle of accepting a spiritual master, as mentioned in the 8th verse, is essential. Even for one who takes to devotional service, it is most important. So though it is accepting a spiritual master is considered one of the jnana angas, so a person who is taking exclusively to bhakti, can he avoid this? No, he can. Sometime back we told, like, exclusive bhakti if somebody takes, then he can avoid jnana angas. But Prabhupada is specifically noting here, even if somebody exclusively takes up to devotional service, this anga of jnana, that is accepting spiritual master, cannot be avoided, because it is also part of a bhakti anga. So like, so it cannot be avoided. So even for one who takes to devotional service, it is most important. Transcendental life begins when one accepts a bona fide spiritual master. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, clearly states here that this process of knowledge is the actual path. Anything speculated beyond this is nonsense. Right? So this is the process of knowledge. So now, like Prabhupada will, in each of the paragraphs, so he will enumerate, one like item of knowledge or process of knowledge, and how to actually, practice this particular item of knowledge. As for the knowledge outlined here, the items may be analyzed as follows. Humility means that one should not be anxious to have satisfaction of being honored by others. Right? So now comes like how humility can be a activity. So humility is a quality. How to actually practice humility, or how to actually practice the activity of humility as an activity of knowledge. So here it comes. So humility means that one should not be anxious to have satisfaction of being honored by others. So now, like, if I'm there in an assembly of people, so and then nobody is noticing me, or nobody is like glorifying me and things like that, and definitely the mind is telling that ki, like, at least people should notice कि like मैंने इतना कुछ किया, like मेरा बारे में कुछ तो बोलना चाहिए, and things like that. So when such thing comes, so we understand, okay, this thought process that I am having, it is against the process of knowledge. This, like, if I contemplate in this way, so I will only get more and more deeper into ignorance, and this is not the right thing. So I have to practice the angas of jnana. So in that way, like, my bhakti will grow very nicely. So for that reason, he should think that like, I should not be hankering for being honored by others, right? The material conception of life makes us very eager to receive honor from others. But from the point of view of a man in perfect knowledge, who knows that he is not this body, anything, honor or dishonor, pertaining to the body is useless. So, like, how will I suppress myself? That feeling comes that people should recognize me and glorify me and things like that. So how will I suppress myself? So by the process of contemplation. So what is the contemplation? You see, like, what is that I have done very great? I have done something, okay, these all things, I have done. So is it pertaining to body, or is it pertaining to, like, this one? So it is all pertaining to body. So, okay, in Krishna consciousness also I have done something great. So, but all glories, I have already, like, in the Premadhvani, I told all glories to spiritual master, all glories to, like, Guru and Krishna and things like that. So, although I am just instrument, वो लोग मुझे use करके कुछ अच्छा काम किया, तो वो glories उसको दे दिए, तो मेरा क्या glory है इसमें? तो finally, like, okay, मेरा कुछ glory नहीं है, तो like कोई देखने का जरूरत नहीं है ना. So, like, in this way, by contemplation, so this is an anga of jnana, this is an activity of jnana. This is how humility has to be practiced. So, like, one has to contemplate in this way, and people are very anxious to be famous for their religion, and consequently sometimes it is found that without understanding the principle of religion, one enter into some group which is not actually following religious principles, and then wants to advertise himself as religious mentor. As for actual advancement in spiritual science, one should have a test to see how far he is progressing. He can judge by these items, right? So, like, so one is that if he is exclusively taking up the devotional service, these parameters will automatically come, and if he is not, so then he has to practice these parameters. So that is why Prabhupada has given sufficient this one for exclusive devotional service, and he has given this one, like, if you are thinking that I am doing exclusive devotional service, then ठीक है, like, रिपोर्ट कार्ड चेक करेंगे, like, कितना पैरामीटर आया आपका, तो आपका ह्यूमिलिटी कितना बड़ा है, एंड like, टॉलरेंस कितना बड़ा है, नॉन वायलेंस कितना बड़ा है, and if these parameters are not proper, so then it is to be understood, I am trying to practice exclusive devotional service, but it is infested with offenses and sinful activities, and because of which the pure devotional service is not yielding its result. So pure devotional service, for it to yield its result, so it has to be freed from offenses. Niraparada namalaya paya premada. Right? So it has to be, like, freed from offenses. So, like, if I am not, so then I have to diligently practice. That the first portion of it is given, like, for those people, like, who are not able to take up to exclusive devotional service. So then the sufficient information is given how to practice this anga of knowledge. Till 10:13 or 4? Yeah? 10:15, okay. Right. So like this we just discussed one anga of jnana, so that is humility. So the next anga, that is called non-violence. Non-violence is generally taken to mean not killing or destroying the body. But actually non-violence means not to put others into distress. So this is called non-violence. Like even in the Ishavashyam principle also we studied that we should accept only the quota which is given to us and not encroach upon another's quota. So in the same way, like that is also like practice of non-violence. So like मुझे इतना ही चाहिए तो इतना ही हम लेंगे. So like even that is eating in non-violence. No, so like so in that way, like if I take more than what is necessary and then waste, no, तो दूसरा किसी का खाना हम वेस्ट कर दिया. So it is violence actually. So like, and that will be an obstruction in the practice of pure devotional service. No, that will be an obstruction in going back to Godhead. So every single thing, every single act that we perform, has its repercussion, in our going back to Godhead. Okay, so people in general are trapped by ignorance in the material concept of life, and they perpetually suffer material pains. So unless one elevates people to spiritual knowledge, one is practicing violence. So we see that like common people, so they are not preaching the message of Krishna consciousness. They don't know also, and they don't know that like we are spirit souls, we are meant to engage in the service of the Lord, and that is how we will become happy. So just like we know the example of watering the root of a tree, yatha taror mula nishechanena tripyantis tatskanda bhujopashaka. So like if you water the root of the tree, then the tree's trunk, branches, leaves and everything will become nourished and satisfied. Right, so in this way, like everybody, they are like the dried up trees, and how they can become nourished and happy. So if they engage in the service of the Lord, and we know that if they engage in the service of the Lord, all their problems will be solved. So like even after knowing it, not distributing this knowledge to others, so it becomes non-violent, it becomes violence. So that is why for devotees, the definition of non-violence means he should distribute book, he should at least, tell to people like, there is some mantra called Harikshetra mantra. If you chant, it will be very auspicious for you, and things like that. So you can have the mantra card or temple card, and then, you can distribute to people that, so like whether they follow or not, it doesn't matter. So like what is, I have to practice the anga of non-violence so that I can go back to Godhead. So like, for that reason I have to give the temple card or book or things like that to others. And it's a sadhana. It has to be performed. Every single day it has to be performed. So like, or on a weekly basis, you just account for weekly basis. So in a week I have to speak about Krishna so much, whether that person likes, not likes, whether he follows, not follows, it doesn't matter. I have to go back to Godhead. Tum narak mein jao, like kya pata, like if you follow, you will go back to Godhead. So but then if I have to go back to Godhead, I have to speak about Krishna to somebody, So like I have to glorify the Lord to somebody, right? So that is practice of non-violence, right? So which also intertwines with the practice of angas of bhakti. So one should try his best to distribute real knowledge to people so that they may become enlightened and leave this material entanglement. That is non-violence. So this is the practice of non-violence. So it is not just this much. You will find, so when you understand, these are all various angas of the practice of jnana. So now when you study rest of the Srila Prabhupada's books, like study Bhagavatam and other this ones, so you will find more and more aspects towards this these particular angas. So in that way you can increase your knowledge about these angas, and you can increase you can shape up your practice very nicely. So at least a good synopsis, a good beginning is given, how to understand these items. Then the third item is tolerance. Tolerance means that one should be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others. If one is engaged in advancement of spiritual knowledge, there will be so many insults and much dishonor from others. This is expected because material nature is so constituted. Even a boy like Prahlad, who only 5 years old was engaged in the cultivation of spiritual knowledge, was endangered when his father became antagonistic to his devotion. The father tried to kill him in so many ways, but Prahlad tolerated him. So there may be many impediments to making advancement in spiritual knowledge, but we should be tolerant and continue our progress with determination. So now we see this tolerance is a very, very basic principle of making advancement in any yoga process, all the more for Bhakti Yoga process. And in Bhagavad Gita itself, in the beginning, it is mentioned, Matra Spashastu Kaunteya, Sitoshana Sukha Dukkada, Agama Payano Anitya, Stamti Tikshvasva Bharata. So now, if I have to, why it is so important to make progress in yoga path or Bhakti Yoga or in any of the yogas? So it is important because, if you have to travel further, you have to be freed from, or you have to have an exclusive focus. So you have to be focused on making spiritual progress. And now, if the material world is keep on throwing different things at us, honor, dishonor, happiness, distress, and things like that. And if I keep on responding to all these things, it's just like, it's WhatsApp is there or YouTube is there. It keeps on throwing reels at us, and then we keep on responding to it by seeing it. So, kab khatam hoga? Reels kab khatam hoga? It's unlimited reels are there, just like unlimited incarnation of the Lord. So then the principle of tolerance has to be applied. So there is unlimited amount of reels are there, and one devotee forwarded some nice Krishna conscious reel, and I have to just see that, and after that I have to close the application, right? So that is practice of tolerance. Even more level of practice of tolerance is if you can take a phone like this, and so then there is some chance of going back to Godhead. So being engaged with smartphone, which is actually doing this, which is actually doing the job of three modes of material nature. It is just like carrying three modes of material nature in the pocket, and then giving opportunity for three modes of material nature. And जब वो शांत हो जाएगा ना, WhatsApp में मैसेज आना शांत हो जाएगा, YouTube में रील्स आना शांत हो जाएगा, तो उसके बाद अच्छे से मैं कृष्ण कॉन्शियस प्रैक्टिस करूँगा. तो वो कभी नहीं होगा. So it is going to keep on, the material world is going to keep on bombarding various different things to us. And when these things, this bombardment is there, so only way that we can actually focus on Krishna consciousness is by execution of tolerance. We have to tolerate. So we cannot say that, oh, this is there, so why are you not chanting? No, because ये devotee ने मुझे डांट दिया. No. So another day, why are you not chanting? सब लोग glorify किया, बहुत अच्छा लगा, तो इसके लिए party करना चला गया. So it is too much of glorification is also problem. Too much of blasphemy is also problem. So some reason chanting stops. Our engagement in bhakti actually stops because of this. In fact, if you see, many times I have analyzed that whenever there is an issue, so first thing the devotee says is that I am going to give up my devotional service. I'm going to give up the service that I am doing. So if you want to give up, we are happy to take it back. It is very, very great privilege. What is that? Brahmanda Brahmita Kohana Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasadify Bhakti Lata Beach. It is as if people are behind us saying that Krishna is behind us. If you don't do this service, mera company band ho jayega. So it is a great privilege that has been given to us to do service. And you see that what is that we'll give up very easily? We'll just throw it away. The thing that we have very less importance to. So if I'm at any, so anybody you see that, if they have anger, they got angry upon somebody and things like that. So will he say that, I will write off my home to somebody. इतना गुस्सा आया लाइक ना मेरा प्रॉपर्टी मैं दूसरा के लिख के दे दूंगा. वो कभी नहीं करेगा. सिचुएशन बहुत खराब हो गया तो लाइक नो आदमी का पैर में गिरेगा बट नो माय हार्ड एंड प्रॉपर्टी हाउ विल आई गिव इट अप. नो किधर रहूंगा उसके बाद रास्ते पे. नो सो दैट इज ओके. बट फर्स्ट थिंग इज लाइक नो आई हैव सीन वन डिवोटी दैट की लाइक नो प्रभु जी ये अन्याय हो गया मेरा साथ. नो माला पकड़ लो आज से चैंटिंग नहीं करूंगा. लाइक सो इट इज सो लाइक वी नीड टू सी दैट व्हाट इज दैट वी आर गिविंग अप दैट एक्टिविटी फॉर विच वी हैव द लीस्ट इंपॉर्टेंस इन अवर लाइफ. ठीक है ले ले भाई लाइक नो ये आज से नहीं करूंगा. सो नो इट इज लाइक दैट इज द थिंग. सो वी शुड बी वेरी वेरी केयरफुल. सो इफ यू सी दैट प्रहलाद, no, he was ready to give up so many things. He was ready to give up his like property, no, ancestral property, like no, तो जो भी पिताजी से मिलने वाला था. So father told like if you chant Vishnu's name, property एक भी नहीं मिलेगा तुमको. No, and Prahlad told fine, like no कुछ property नहीं है तो मैं रास्ते में बैठूंगा like no मेरा एक ही चीज है कि like जप करने का. तो भगवान का नाम याद करूंगा और नो किधर भी मैं रह जाऊंगा. तुमको समुद्र में पानी के अंदर फेंकूंगा ठीक है उधर भी जाके जप करूंगा. सो लाइक दैट इवन हरिदास ठाकुर नो फॉर दैट सेक नो ही वाज टोल्ड दैट नो इवन यू विल बी किल्ड. नो योर बॉडी विल बी कट टू पीसेस. And he told that no, even if you cut to pieces, no, every piece will chant the names of the Lord. So the most important thing in their life, no, it is very very clear that we cannot give up practice of Krishna consciousness. So tolerance has to be applied in this line that whatever may come, I should not compromise on my devotional service. No, I should not give up my devotional service. I should not compromise on my devotional service. Right? Okay. So just one more, this one we will take. There are so many wonderful things are there. So maybe we can do this as a nice seminar. No? So like, so if the practice of karma is very nicely followed and practice of jnana is very nicely followed, then automatically, no, bhakti will nicely flourish. No, without practice of jnana and karma, like if we are practicing bhakti that means we are practicing bhakti and adharma. So it is like paro dharma and adharma. So that package is like very difficult. No, it will be very chaotic. No, there will be lot of problems and lot of issues. No, if like adharma is practiced, right? So that is why this is very very important to spend time to understand, know what is like how to actually practice the angas of jnana and how to actually practice the angas of karma also in order to practice pure devotional service. Okay, so we will pause here. So maybe in the future further speakers can elaborate on other activities or other angas of jnana. So we will take up questions, comments, any devotees wish to. Hare Krishna.